Severe tropical storm Kristine, also known as Trami internationally, has now made landfall here in the Philippines. This after already bringing significant impacts when heavy rainfall across southeastern Luzon. 2 deaths have been reported at this time, but many people are still missing. And these are just a few of the images coming out of Naga City, where a half a meter of rain took place in less than 24 hours. Now, though, we have seen the actual center, which has just been kind of skirting the coast, come on shore here into Isabela and expected to cross the Cagayan Valley before re-emerging into Pangasinan. I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta. Let's break down this storm system. And really, the key thing at this point is Signal Force 3 is in place for a good portion of central and northern Luzon, and really the entire island is at least under Signal Force 1 at this time. It's this core of the winds, though, that we're seeing pass right over Iligan, heading towards Baguio, and then it's going to eventually re-emerge out here towards Candon, La Union area. That has kind of the highest winds at this point and the heaviest of the rainfall, where we still could see an additional 200 to 300 millimeters, which all of this is going to funnel into the Cagayan River. So I am worried about the Cagayan River rising as we go through our day on Thursday and heading into Friday. Let's take a look actually at some of the rain totals that have already taken place at this time. As mentioned, in parts of southeastern Luzon, over half a meter of precipitation. Already parts of the Cagayan Valley, 50 to 100, but more rain is for sure in your forecast as this tracks overhead and heads off here towards the west. So let's pull up our fantastic graphics from Metro Weather's Weatherscape, showing you that center of circulation as it crosses over the Sierra Madre Mountains. Got some of the heaviest of the rainfall flaring up around that center, crossing right over Iligan here out towards La Union. We also are still seeing inflow, and I'm seeing some reports of some fairly blustery conditions across the NCR. Not, full-on typhoon weather, but enough to knock out power outages, which we have already seen at this time across a good portion of Luzon, including in parts of Metro Manila. As this moves over towards the west, though, still maintaining tropical storm intensity, but it is expected to re-intensify, potentially up to a typhoon before coming on shore into central Vietnam as we go through the weekend. And we can even see this here with our hour-by-hour outlook through our Thursday afternoon. Heading into evening, our storm re-emerges just offshore of San Fernando, right in here, just towards the west of Pangasinan, and behind it, vastly drying and improving conditions through the day on Friday as this pulls away, and for sure by Friday evening, a good portion of Luzon is going to be much drier. You may still have those mid-level clouds out there, but it is going to dry out fairly quickly as this moves away. So that's actually the good news at this time, is the fact that this storm will not linger any more than it already has. It is going to continue to kind of just march along here towards the west at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, and then reemerges, gets into those warm waters across the West Philippine Sea, and starts to head out here towards places like the Spratlys, and eventually just skirting the southern end of Hainan. Also, in the broader scope of things, I do want to mention, this is still interacting with that cold surge towards the north, which is bringing windy conditions as far north as Taipei, Indian over towards Hainan out ahead of this. With additional rainfalls, this tracks over Luzon, still wrapping around for the west coast around Subic, back towards Pangasinan into Manila and down towards Mindoro. You still could see an additional 200 to 300 millimeters of rain, and of course more rainfall in the higher elevations here across central Luzon. So red rainfall warning still likely for a good portion of the west coast. I do want to note, though, it wasn't too long ago that Bicol, finally they had all their rainfall warnings dropped, which that after just the incredible amount of precipitation they got over the last few days. So yeah, they need a break there, but now the storm marching and pushing right over central Luzon, and it's going to continue to push off here towards the west, and it's going to be still a long night and long morning, I should say, for our friends here across Luzon, so especially in the Cagayan Valley extending off towards Region 1. So be smart, be safe, stay inside, listen to those evacuation warnings, just wait for this one to roll away, because at least as we go ahead into Thursday night, we are going to see those rapidly improving conditions on the backside of this storm system. All right, that's a look at what's happening out here right now. As always, thanks for watching, and number one thing, of course, is stay safe out there as we continue to track Kristine passing over the Philippines.